Hey everybody, this is Jose here. We're about to start. 15 seconds to go. Please go ahead and confirm that sound is okay with a quick message on the chat box. So this is a sound check and we are gonna start right now. Okay, we just reached the top of the hour. So let me maximize our introduction slide here so we can start. Sound is good, very good. Thank you so much, Dirk. How are you? How is everybody? Nice to see you guys in this first get-together session of the week. So let's begin. Okay, that's official welcome for the session. Today is October 2nd, 2019. My name is Jose Blasco. I will be your guide, and today I am guiding you in the world of intraday trading, as we do many times. Today we're going to be exploring short-term opportunities in the market. We'll be using AutoClimate, we'll be using TradeStation, we'll be using the radar screen that will be pointing at where the highest probability opportunities are, and then we will fine-tune those opportunities using our process, using our AutoUFOs, and setting all the parameters of the trade. We'll execute those trades together, and you are more than welcome to follow me in those executions. Okay, of course, as always, when you execute trades, you need to decide what is the size of the trade you want to execute. I will use two contracts by default, just to keep it simple on my side. Your side, you would need to decide about your size, and also you would need to decide if you want to execute with real capital or you want to simulate those trades so you get some practice in if you are in learning stages. Okay, Frank, how are you? Bojan, how are you? Geneva, great to see you all, my friends. So let's begin. I almost forgot the disclaimer. So quickly, the following video clips demonstrations are for educational and instructional purposes only. Tradictive provides these videos purely for the purpose of demonstrating a method of using the product. Users understand that all the content used in the video is purely for demonstration purposes only and is not a guide and does not provide any indication or prediction of actual results. As a user, you understand and agree that hypothetical results obtained through a demonstration do not indicate in any way the results you may receive on using our products. Cool. That's it. Session is formally introduced. Actually, let me close this slide. We don't need it anymore. And here is our beautiful TradeStation. Okay. So again, as I said, I was going to be using a radar screen to point at where the opportunities may be. So the most attractive of all in this screen is whenever you see the golden color. Okay, that's where the opportunities are. And just in case it's the first time that you are joining us in the sessions, super quick, on the left we are dealing with futures markets, where on the right we got majors and we got minors, which is Forex currencies. Also, because futures are centralized, the trading and exchange, so we are going as low as 15-minute time frame when it comes to understanding market climates. That would be our common time frame. And also for markets that are a little less liquid, such as natural gas and the yen, we go for the 60, and then for the link hogs, we go for the 240. Okay. In the middle part, we got spot Forex. As I said, the majors are quite liquid. Therefore, we're gonna be, well, actually not quite liquid, super liquid. And therefore, we're gonna go as low as 60 minutes for those trades. We will not drop as low as 15 because it's not a centralized product. Okay, there is no exchange. Different brokers may have different quotes. Okay, so we're gonna be a little more relaxed with the market climate in this case, with the common time frames. Then we'll also use the 240 minute for the same currencies, the majors. Okay, and then on the right, because it's the minors and they are all a little less liquid, even though they are all cool to trade, no problem at all. But because they are less liquid, our starting point will be 4-hour time frame for the common time frame. Okay, so this is the reason, and this is the reason for this setup of red screens, and this is basically the little tour I just gave you, so you understand what is in front of you. Okay, so let's begin with futures. Okay, let's begin with futures. We are looking at S&P near sensible short. Okay, it's always nice to have the golden color. That means that the trade is in the process of potentially being ready to be taken. But what's very nice as well is to see the word sensible, which means that the current amount of candles into this market, into this climate, sorry, is a small number compared to what statistics suggest of what that number should be based on probabilities. Therefore, this is a valid trade to execute. We also have a golden color with natural gas, but careful, because notice how the climate is not confirmed. Same happens with the lean hogs, where the climate is not confirmed. Okay, so not a big deal. Okay, you could certainly plan trades on natural gas and lean hogs, but remember they are of a little bit of a less probability, and therefore in this session I will just skip it and just trade the markets with the highest probability. Okay, so it seems that maybe the S&P has been moving a little bit away from the EMA because we didn't have golden anymore. But I mean, a second ago we had it, so I want to go back and take a look. Okay, cool. Dirk, you don't have ES as sensible? That's interesting. Are you using the 15-minute time frame? Make sure you check that. Maybe by mistake you're using a different time frame. In the 15-minute time frame, you can see very clearly here probabilities suggesting this number 5.3 in this case, 2 candles into the climate, which are the 2 red dots, and therefore in this case, yes, we are okay with that. Okay, so now we are below the average. The average is pointing at 29.22. Let's call it 29.23, and guess what? We got a UFO at that price. Okay, we also have a UFO at this price starting at 23 as well. So yeah, 24.75, and the upper one is probably 25. Okay, so they are overlapping each other. Okay, so we have a potential trade here, and 29.27.75, which is the same price as what we got there too. So basically we have an opportunity in this case with those 2 red UFOs that overlap on all those time frames. Okay, so quickly let's go ahead and look for a target on the 60-minute time frame. We may have an opportunity to get into the trade before the market opens. Okay, if you have been in the sessions, you know I personally love that. It's not like it's the only trade you can take, but certainly I do appreciate that. So activating AutoUFOs, okay, maximizing that chart, looking for a green UFO. Okay, no green UFO there, so I'm gonna have to load more candles in the 60-minute time frame. Let's go ahead and load. Oh, sorry, I went for 100 instead of 1,000, which I wanted to type. Okay, so let's go for 2,000. Let's be generous. Okay. Okay, calculating studies and strategies. Come on. Well, it seems I'm having a little bit of a slow computer today. Okay, now. Okay, we got it. Well, it's teasing us a little bit here. I'm not sure why this is happening. It's quite of a weird behavior, but I guess that if we're a little patient, yeah, hopefully I didn't type 20,000 candles, because then that would be a problem. Uh, that could happen, by the way. It would be a silly human error, but it could be. Let me see. Okay. Okay, we have it now. Okay, good. So the target would be down here, which is 27.5. That would be the target for the S&P for shorting. Okay, so we are talking about yeah, like 40 points. Okay, so it's one of those cases. I'm sure that some of you know already what I'm about to say. Okay, which means that, you know, we are doing a good job at developing the right mindset. Okay, so what I was going to say is, what I'm gonna say is that you know, 40 points below in a market that moves less points per day as an average, it's a little, you know, difficult to reach for an intraday trade, and today we are planning intraday trades. Okay, so could be that you end up closing the trade somewhere in the middle of nowhere. Okay, somewhere in the middle of the process, I should say. So you would just keep trailing stop, trailing stop, trailing stop until you finally get out. Okay, so that could certainly be the case, but at the same time, there's been a lot of fear in the markets in the recent times. And when the markets fall, the process of falling is normally very, very fast and aggressive. So you know what? This is one of those cases where the target is far, but I've seen targets like this to be hit before. Okay, so I would not be that surprised if that's going to be the case. Okay, so I'm going to place my entry order at 29.23. I'm just going to click on it. I'm using two contracts, as you know. I will need to adjust my buy stop above, which is going to be 29.28. Okay. That's going to be the location for my stop, right above all the UFOs. Okay, it's going to be right here. Okay, that's going to be the location for the stop. Okay, and from 28 to 23, we got 5 points. Therefore, my safety target needs to be 5 points below, which is going to be from 23, it would go to 18. That would be the location for the safety target. And finally, the final target would be located at 28.87.5. Okay, so just dragging it down a little more. 28.87.5 is right here, and now you can see on the screen, easy to follow. Okay, purple color, that's the entry, blue color above is the stop, blue color below is the safety target, blue color all the way below, it's the final target. Okay, so this is a trade valid, that meets our rules based on the process that we have, and this is a trade that could be executed. Okay, so Derek, I'm reading your answer when it comes to sensible, and you know, if you don't have the word sensible here for the S&P, okay, maybe what happens is that the amount of candles that you have loaded on your radar screen is different than mine. I'm using 200 bars for the radar screen, and with a different number, you would end up with slightly different stats. Okay, and maybe that's the reason why. Okay, so I would suggest to use 200 in this case, so you don't overload radar screen, and that way we are in sync. Okay, I'd be curious to know if that's the case or not, because if not, I would not understand why you don't have the same result as me, because obviously this is coded, and therefore TradeStation should process the data mechanically. Okay, so anyway, so we have the S&P trade there. We are a little less than 2 points away, 1.75 away from entry. So hopefully we'll have a little bit of an excitement right before the market opens. Oh, okay, I understand. Yes, it was golden on my side as well, and now it's not golden anymore. Okay, and the reason why is because it was closer to the average, 0.5. Okay, again, coming back to the settings of AutoClimate Studies Edit, notice how for inputs I got ATR alert 0.5. So you know, if it's 0.5 or less, then it's golden. Right now it's 0.65, so it's not golden anymore. Okay, but it could be golden anytime if price goes back closer to the UFO like it did before. Okay, so that's why we had an opportunity earlier when we saw it flash. Okay, just like the Nasdaq, it's about to flash, if it was to get closer to the average is 0.54, if it was to get closer to 0.5, we would see immediately golden color, shiny golden color right here, which we may see anytime because it's 0.52, it was 0.51. Okay, so we just need 0.5, 0.50 for that. Cool. Okay. So what else do we have? Okay. Lean hogs again, unconfirmed climate. So I will not touch it. Okay. For now, we have the trade with the S&P. Were you guys able to place your orders and be ready for the trade? You know, I'm just gonna get the picture for you again one more time, just in case I did it too quick. So you have time to place your order, so you can execute this trade with me. So the order is entered for Wojan. Very nice. Yeah. And we are ready. Okay, good. Okay, so what else? Okay, so while we're waiting for this to happen, we have 2 more minutes before the next climate. Okay, Dirk is also in. Very good. So I mean, really, 1.5 minutes left for the next climate update is not gonna give us that much time to do anything. Okay, but you know what? I'll start loading a trading view with the Forex currency pairs. Okay, Hélène, you are in as well. Très bien, very good. And that way, I'm ready for afterwards for the next 15-minute climate to begin planning trades on the spot Forex markets. Okay, so I'm loading that in my other computer screen. And I will be sharing that later on. Geneva, you are in with micro. Very, very nice. Okay, very, very nice. That's a very nice way to do it. You know, at the beginning of the session, I commented on using, here we go. Now you can see the NASDAQ showing the golden color too. Okay, so I'll take a look at the NASDAQ now. So at the beginning of the session, I was talking about using paper money or real money and you deciding the size. I didn't say it, but you know, one way to also go with a setup which is somewhere in between paper money and real money is to use the micro E-minis. Okay, the micro E-minis are quite small as a futures contract, and but they are just proper futures. Okay, and therefore you can certainly take advantage of those trades. I would recommend though to trade with the E-minis, the micro E-minis, I should say, that you do your planning with the standard contracts. Should be the same many times, but sometimes there'll be little differences. So make sure that you know your pricing and your timing is based on the normal contract, the E-mini, even though you execute with the micro E-mini, if that's your case. Okay, very good. Cool. Okay, so still waiting for the S&P. We just got a new climate. Okay, so new climate. So 3 dots, moving average. It's 22.25. The current price is 20.50. So we are 1.5 points away from entry. If the market goes up 1.5 points, the average will go up a little bit. We are borderline with the trade being valid or not valid because you know we want to enter. You know, with that average, well, actually, let me complete what I was saying. I'm thinking two things at the same time. So yeah, the average may be slightly below the UFO. Normally we want the average to be inside, but really it's difficult to say because if the market go up, you know, it could be very likely that we are now overlapping the average, but maybe the average end up being like 1 tick below or something like that. So not sure at the moment. Okay, so again, for now, let's call the trade still valid. Okay, and we'll just leave it the way it is and we'll be monitoring that. Okay, when it comes to the NASDAQ, let's see what we have. We have an average located, same story with the climate is valid. We have an average located at 46 something, but no UFOs at these bottom levels in any of the edge timeframes, at least for now. Okay, a little later maybe we do, but here around 46, 47, you know, at this moment in time, there is nothing. Okay, a UFO just formed here, real time. That's nice, but notice how the top is 45, where the average is 46. So that UFO would be below the average, and therefore it would not meet our rules. Okay, we don't have the overlapping setup that we are looking for. So for now, when it comes to equities, the S&P is the one that meets our rules. And when it comes to other markets, here we go. We now have an opportunity Oh, no, not yet. It's a gray color, so it's not, the climate is not confirmed, even though it was flashing golden for a second. It's an opportunity with a non-confirmed climate, so we will leave it alone. Okay, so we have the S&P trading, and now I am moving into spot Forex. So loading on my other computer screen the intraday time frames that we normally use for Forex, which is 240 minutes for the climate, 21 minutes for the edge time frame, or 60 minutes for the climate and 8 minutes for the edge time frame. Okay, so I am moving trading view into the main screen, still loading, so we're gonna get to see all our apps running. Here we go, we got the climate, the UFOs are now flashing. So let's begin. Okay, so let's begin. So I'll start with a 60-minute setup. Okay, and I'm gonna move here to majors. Again, you can go through the list one at a time, or more efficiently, you can just use TradeStation with a red screen, where in this case, actually with a 60-minute setup, we have nothing at the moment that is flashing golden. Okay, so nothing at the moment, but with the 4-hour setup, we currently have the New Zealand dollar with a non-confirmed climate, but the US dollar, Canadian dollar, that one is a near sensible long. So let's go ahead and look at the 4-hour setup. Okay, 240.21. Let's look at it with the majors, and in this case is going to be US dollar CAD, which should be giving us a proper climate. Okay, here we go, 2 candles. Okay, 2 candles into climates of 5.88 going up. Okay, and average located at 132.39. Yeah, problem. Okay, we have a problem. Actually, we don't have a problem. We don't, because 39 falls into this green UFO, where the bottom part of that UFO, which is 38, it's overlapping with 34, because normally we put the stop below, isn't it? So below by 5 ticks, and 38 minus 5 is 33, and this is 34. So it's good, and that 30 overlaps with 28, and 28 is somewhere in here. Okay, so we are also overlapping with the 21, and then we got 25, 21. Oh yeah, but okay. You know what? We got plenty of overlapping, which is very powerful, but in the end, we would have an entry located all the way here at 40 something, with a stop located all the way to 08, which is like around 40 pips of risk, which is probably too much, not from a risk point of view, because you can always reduce the size of the trade, but from a safety target point of view, where now your safety target will be far away, because the distance from entry to stop is far away as well. Okay, so I'll prefer to look at other opportunities, okay, and find something more convenient. Okay, Dirk, still a problem. Whenever you have time on it, on the edge you have sensible and I have hopeful with the same settings. Okay, well, do you have the same 15 minutes? Do you have the same 6.3? And do you have the same 3? Okay, if you have those parameters, it could not be hopeful, it has to be sensible. Okay. Also, are you using ATS as a symbol? So make sure you have the same as me, Dirk. Now, it may seem obvious, but sometimes it's just a tiny detail that makes the difference, okay? Or also make sure as well, again, sometimes we change parameters without realizing it, and it's a problem. So make sure you have activated update value intrabar. Okay, make sure this is updated, because if not, it could also be a different reading. Okay, cool. Okay, so what else? S&P coming closer, it seems. So let's see. Yeah, the S&P is now coming closer. So we are a little closer, 22.4. If it comes a little higher by 2 points, we may hit that 23. That would be ideal. The NASDAQ too, but do we have any UFO that form in the NASDAQ? No, we don't. Okay, any other opportunity in futures? Lindhawk still non-confirm, natural gas still non-confirm. Okay, so this is what we have. We are 8 minutes away from the market open. Okay, and the US dollar, Canadian dollar here didn't work. So we're gonna move now into the Euro Yen. still 4 hour setup for Forex, moving into minors, and we'll start working on the euro yen. Okay, so the euro yen is showing us a climate with 2 candles going down. 5.33 is the expectation based on stats, so it's a right time to get into the trade. Average located at 117.68. Yeah, unfortunately that's 74. It's too far out. Okay, too far out, and we don't have a valid setup. What else do we have? A Great British Pound, New Zealand dollar, non-confirmed, so we're gonna skip it. Aussie dollar, Swiss franc, up climate. Aussie Swiss franc. So we are in an up climate. Average 66.86. We have 66.86 right here. All that stuff is overlapping from 86 to 73. So that's going to be our entry, my friends. Okay, 73 is the bottom part. If I put my stop 5 pips below, certainly I'm not reaching the UFO in the 21-minute time frame, so my stop will be, you know, somewhere here, okay, around 68, something like that. Okay, 5 pips below 73 is 68. But again, those UFOs here do coincide with the average, and therefore this is a valid entry. Okay, so we just found a valid entry. I'm just gonna maximize the 4-hour time frame, disable EMA, activate AutoUFOs, and I'm gonna move to the next common time frame, which is daily, to find where the target should be. And we just concluded that the target, we just found out that for the Aussie Swiss franc, the target should be 0.6775. That should be the target, okay, which is nice room for movement if this climate does propagate like normally climates do. So let's plan the trade. I'm just gonna make the notes, okay, quick. The market will open very soon, so I just want to have a quick look to see if we are about to get filled or not on the S&P. Yeah, not yet. Okay, so we're gonna keep it. So let's go ahead and make some notes on the screen on how the trade will be. So for the yen, we're gonna have a final target, okay, located at 0.6775. Oh, sorry, I just said the yen. I'm not sure why. Probably I was thinking about the euro yen from before. This is the Australian dollar Swiss franc. Okay, sorry for that. So final target is here. Then below we have a safety target, which I need to calculate mathematically. Then we would have a long entry. Okay, that this one will be located at 0.6685. Okay, I'm gonna round it up to 86. And because it's a buy order, we add 2, so it's going to be 88. Okay, 0.6688. Okay, this is my reference number. Okay, I made 86 plus 2 is 88. And finally, below we're going to have a stop loss. Okay, which is going to be located at 0.6673, and then we need to subtract 5 because it's a stop. Those are the rules that we use, isn't it? So we'll make it 68. So from 68 to 88, we got 20. Therefore, now we know where the safety target should be, which is 0.6708. Okay, that would be the location for the safety target, which is 20 pips above the entry. Okay, so 08, we take profits, and then we enjoy the ride all the way to 75. And if that happens, the trade is fantastic. Okay, if not, the safety target is helping us to reduce the risk of the trade. So screenshot time. We have a trade here with the Australian dollar Swiss franc. That one is valid based on all our different parameters. Okay, just gonna give you a few more seconds. Yeah, the British pound, Ricky, certainly I could take a look. We don't have it in the table, and I will need to look at the specific edge timeframes and everything. I will need to build the the workspace for that. And so if you don't mind, I will not give it full priority, especially since the market is about to open right now. Again, nothing wrong with trading the British pound futures, absolutely nothing wrong. It's just a little less liquid, and that's why we're filled on the S&P, very nice. So yeah, perfect, I love it. So we just got filled right before the market opened. So the market will open now in 2 minutes and 15 seconds, okay, and then we'll be in. Interesting how I didn't hear TradeStation call that the order just got filled. But anyway, so we are in the trade, okay, and yeah, exactly 2 minutes from now, the market will open, and it's that situation where we're gonna see the market define itself normally very quickly, and it's either we get stopped out very quickly, or we start moving towards our target efficiently, which is something I always say, but it's just like I cannot help it. It's just something I love, you know. These market opens are great to either be proven right or wrong quickly, and therefore you don't end up, you know, spending your time just keep watching the trade, let's see what happens. Instead, you know, very quickly, you know, you are out of the trade and focus on a new one, or you know the trade you plan happens to actually be a good one. Okay, so anyway. I want to also zoom in the time-based time frame here, because we are also now in a time stop management mode, isn't it? So the market will open now in 1 minute exactly. Okay, so you know the fill took place in this candle. Okay, we are using 3 candles in the edge time-based time frame. So I'll wait for this candle to complete and then another candle to complete, and if after the third candle I have not reached my safety target located at 29.18, so what I will do is I will just attempt to close the trade for either a small profit or break even. Of course, if the market keeps moving against me, if that was to be the case, of course I cannot do anything to change that, and then I would take my loss pretty fine based on the location of where my stop is. Okay, but again, it's a sensible rule, especially given my philosophy when I am conducting these sessions for you guys, where my priority is to keep you as safe as possible, because I know some of you are very experienced, but some of you are not. Okay, and my goal here is to help you as much as I can. Okay, so market just opened, so we're having that initial push. Okay, so let's see if that's gonna bring us to our safety target. Okay, and we'd love to see some UFO form. So we just have one UFO that just formed here, 24.5. So I'm just gonna move my stop to 24.5. Yep, here we go. So the stop is there. Okay, I have less risk on this trade now, because new unfilled orders were added. Those are unfilled orders from large players that are getting those trades right as the market opens. So that UFO is likely going to be powerful. If price comes back, it should push price back again. And if it doesn't, I want to be out. And in this case, I had a chance to reduce my risk. Okay. So just doing my thing. And then if the candle on the left, it closes, which is going to happen in a little less than 1 minute. If I didn't reach my safety target in a little less than 1 minute, I'll be ready to click the close button and exit the trade. Okay. And of course, then be ready to replan on a new one. Okay. Yep. Oh, got it, Frank. Yeah, so I guess I got the sound low on my computer, but I do have my system sound connected to the broadcast. So that's how you heard it. Okay. Any more UFO forming? We have another UFO forming 23.75. So 23.75 is giving us an opportunity to move these to 24. Okay, so I'm just gonna close it. We didn't reach, but we just had a new
order filled.
Close. Okay, so we are out of this trade. $375 was the net profit with the 2 contracts I was using. If you are using time stops, you should be out. Okay, guys, you should be out. And you may say, hey, wait a minute. What if it keeps going? Great, the rules are the rules. Okay, so we're out of the trade and that's it. Okay, so let's go ahead and go back to the climate. So trade number 1 of the day, in and out, trade is completed. Okay, what else is the market offering us? So the S&P and the Nasdaq are not confirmed right now. Okay, I mean you saw it here, isn't it? With the light, sort of the thin sapphire color dot. Okay, so we have nothing with the S&P and the Nasdaq right now. So I'm just gonna close those windows. Rules equals profit. Very good, Bojan. 345. Nice job. Yeah, way to go. That's how we do it, guys. Okay, we don't wonder what if. Okay, we just execute the trades based on the rules. Okay, I'm just closing my workspaces here just to alleviate a little bit the processing power of my computer with all the streaming I'm doing. Okay, what else do we have? Well, while we're waiting for other opportunities to form in the futures markets, okay, we have here some opportunities that seem to be forming in the Great British Pound with a long sensible using the 60-minute time frame. Okay, so moving to the 60. Great British Pound US dollar, let's see what we got. We have an up climate, 2 candles into the climate. Yeah, well, I'm just gonna say we have no trade here. Too many UFOs overlapping each other, and again, you know what this is gonna do, right? From a probability point of view, certainly it's a nice thing to see. From safety target here reach. Very good, Dirk. Very good. It's absolutely fine, as I said, that some of you may not be using time stops, so you have another rule with maybe 5 candles instead of 3, things like that, okay? Absolutely fine. You know my priority in the session is to keep everybody safe, and some of you are in the learning stages, so I have the rule of 3 candles, and if you have the same, you should be out. If you don't have the same, then you should be in, okay? And now you just reach safety target. So good one. Anyway, so I was saying here the problem of too many overlapping candles, it's the safety target that ends up being too far, and that is problematic for a risk management point of view. Okay, so what else do we have? What else do we have? Great British Pound as well, providing a near sensible opportunity also on the 4-hour time frame setup. Okay, so I'm curious to see. We just look at it on the 60-minute. How does it look like if we look at the 4-hour time frame? Maybe the 4-hour time frame does gives us the proper view. Okay, same story, guys. Okay, basically the app is identifying the same orders in both time frames. Okay, 21-minute time frame, 8-minute time frame. So lots of overlapping, 22.26 all the way to 22.65. It's 40 plus pips. It's kind of like half of a daily move. That's going to be the distance from your entry to stop. It's a little too much, if you wish. Okay. Oh, by the way, I was just looking for buy orders. Actually, the climate is red, so we should be selling, and there is no red. Okay. So yeah. So no Great British Pound, at least not today. So back to TradeStation. What else do we have? The Euro Yen, we talked about it. We also have an opportunity with the Great British Pound, Swiss franc, and the Great British Pound, Australian dollar. So let's go ahead and give the pound an opportunity to make us happy in the 4-hour time frame. So back to my miners list. So Great British Pound, Swiss franc. We say Swiss franc and Aussie, yes. So the Great British Pound Swiss franc is in an up climate, 1 candle out of 545, which is what tends to happen in this kind of setup. Average price located at 122.41, being 122.41 up here. I believe we do have a setup here. 60 to 20, yeah, again, like 40 pips of risk. So I'm not so delighted. Maybe we can plan on a trade, but let me check the GBP AUD. Again, looking to find setups where the distance between entry and stops is not so pronounced. Okay, and here is even worse. All the way from 183.02 to 181, you know, it's more than 150 pips. Such wide ranges. So yeah, not happy with this when it comes to planning trades with proper locations for the safety target. So what else do we have? The pound New Zealand dollar is also showing us that may be qualified for an opportunity. So let's go ahead, take a look at the pound New Zealand. Lots of stuff with the pound, isn't it? Well, non-confirmed climate here, interesting. Let me double check. Maybe I read it too quickly on the trade station. Oh yeah, it's not confirmed, it's gray color, I missed that, guys. So yeah, so what else? Euro New Zealand dollar, okay, that one is a little late, 9 candles out of 9.15. So again, this trade with the Euro New Zealand, if the setup is valid, this will be a trade to be taken with half of the size. Okay, half of the size. And yeah, so average is 174.89. This is 174.78, which is below the average. Yeah, no valid setup. No valid setup. That's it. That's it. That's it. That's it. That's it. That's it. Yeah, that's it. Okay, so that's what we have right now. I mean, we can certainly look at other currencies. Okay, you know, when looking at the ATR spread column, like for example 2.6, 1.5, that would be a waste of time to plan trades on those because they are very stretched at the moment, and you would need to wait for price to come back. Maybe 0.75 could be a valid one to check, even though in this case it's hopeful, so we're not going to do it. But you know, my point is that you could certainly look at this column as well when you don't have golden color and you still want to plan a trade. You know, the ones with the lowest number in the ATR spread column would be the ones to use. Okay, now of course without the word hopeful. Okay, so what else do we have here? Sensible long with a Swiss franc, that's 0.64, so that one could be worth it to check. And what else? Yeah, all of this is 2.83, 1 point something. So all those are 1 ATR away, 2.85 ATRs away. That one is 0.6 ATR away. Much more reasonable, and it's sensible. So I'm gonna go for the US dollar Swiss franc. And that was 4 hour time frame. So US dollar Swiss franc. Let's see if we have a trade in that case. Okay, so we have 2 candles into the climate. When this market goes up is 647, that's what is probability suggests. Average located at 97.72. Okay, this is the value for the average. Okay, and 72, it's higher. And we do have a potential entry here, 72 with the bottom part 70. 70 minus 5 is 65, with the bottom part is 62, and 62 is overlapping with that one, placing our stops all the way down here. Wow, it's kind of funny that almost all currencies have a entry setup with such wide distance from entry to stop. That's obviously not a good news for us to be able to take those trades. Okay, so guys, I'm having a little problem with TradeStation. I noticed that some of the red screen rows are not updating properly. So I am killing TradeStation as we speak. So I'm gonna restart TradeStation. I'm wondering, because this happened as well last time when we run the session together, and the only thing different in my machine since then is some Windows update. So I am wondering if maybe that Windows update didn't do too good to TradeStation. Not sure if any of you are having the same type of problem, where sometimes some TradeStation processes will get kind of hung. This has been happening to me since a few days now. So maybe the Windows update thing. Anyway, so logging in. Okay, how's the trade going, Dirk? Did you get any more red UFOs and more opportunities to keep trailing stop and everything? Okay, so TradeStation will be with us in just a sec. Almost ready. And we got 18 minutes to go. Still running. Very nice. Very, very nice. Irwin, you're having the same problem. Interesting. So yeah, I'm not sure. I think I kind of feel, because I mean it would be too much of a coincidence if you wish. I kind of feel that in maybe that. Okay, in maybe that. Okay. Yep. So, looking at the clock, less than 3 minutes for a new change of climate. So in the future side, everything is the same. In the future side, everything is the same. Yep. In the Forex side, we still got the pound, New Zealand dollar, non-confirmed climate here. Aussie dollar, that one is hopeful. Swiss franc now is hopeful on the 60 minutes. Yep, and on the minors, we got the euro yen. We saw that the pound. Wait a minute, I got natural gas giving me an alert. Okay, but natural gas is flashing golden. Natural gas flashing golden, but is not confirmed as a climate. So I'll pass. Okay, remember we used to trade non-confirmed climates. Okay, a long time ago when we didn't have all the technology in the App Store of TradeStation for auto climate and the red screen. But now that we have it, so I remember saying before, just for the ones of you that maybe newer to the sessions, I said before that, I would just focus on the confirmed climates only, okay, because this gives you higher probability, and because now we have more markets, okay, so we don't need to force trades, okay? So therefore, I will ignore the natural gas trade, even though, it's almost giving us a setup, okay? Non-confirmed climate. So pound New Zealand, we saw that. Euro New Zealand, we saw that. Pound Aussie, we saw that. Pound Great British, pound Swiss franc, we saw that. Okay, so yeah, so we have everything. We've checked everything. So what I'm gonna do is wait 40 seconds, okay, together. In 40 seconds, we'll have a new update on those 15-minute time frame. And the moment we have those updates, maybe we have some changes out there and some new opportunities develop. Certainly, it seems that most of the markets are far away from the averages. Okay, even the S&P and the Nasdaq, that for a minute had a little tease of a non-confirmed climate to the upside, but then crashed heavily, 2.58 years down for the S&P. Okay, so even those markets, are far. Okay, so we just had a new update. Okay, we just had a new update. Now the S&P and the Nasdaq are red color, as you can see. Okay, but all those figures are large figures, meaning that we are far away from the moving average. So I could certainly load the chart and plan a trade, but we are likely not going to get filled in 15-minute time. And therefore, 15 minutes later, maybe the UFO we picked is not lining up with the average anymore because the average keeps moving, right? And again, in order to not to waste our time, okay, so I'm not gonna open any further future chart, at least for now, until something flashes golden color, and then it will be the time to do it. Okay. Well, out of curiosity, okay, I would like to look at the S&P trade because there may be some instructions I could give you if you're in the trade, and that could also be very, very helpful. I guess that most of my help could come from the point of view of planning trades, but it's always healthy as well to talk about trade management. And so let me talk about what's going on right now as we speak, okay? And as we speak, what happens is that, we got a UFO that formed here on the left, 17.5 is the top. We have a UFO that formed here in the middle, 14.5 is the top. And we have a UFO that formed here where 14 is the top, okay? But, you should not have your stop at 14.25 because that would fall within that UFO. So place your stop at 14.75. That is where your stop should be, for you to be safe. Okay. 14.75 actually would fall in the middle of this one. So you should actually be 17.5. 17.5 should be the location, which is going to be right on top of this one, 17.5, and right on top of this one, which is going to be 17.5. So the right location for the stop as we speak is 17.5. That's the location for the stop, okay? Yeah, that's it. Okay, and if any other UFO forms, then you can trail it, but not before, because if you put it on top of this one, you may be stopped out and then it goes your way. And remember, the objective is to reach 2887.5, which is still like another 20 plus points down. Okay. Yes, I can see you have your stop at 29.10, so maybe there was some red UFO earlier here that doesn't show anymore because the orders have been consumed. If that's the case, absolutely fine. Then you did perfect. And if you were to get stopped out now, if it reaches 29.10, that's it. You would be happy to get out of this trade for, would be like, like 12-point move, like half of a daily move in one trade. That should make you happy. Yes. And I could picture that, even though I was not looking at the chart. I could kind of imagine that was the case. I mean, we all know, Dirk, that you are an experienced trader and you know what you're looking at, and you have experience with the app as well. So anyway, yeah, so probably you are out of this trade now and you made around 13 points, something like that. So congratulations there if you guys stayed all the way for that 13-point move. Again, nice one, half of a day move in one trade. That's something to congratulate you guys. So anyway, so let's go ahead, and now that we're having some retracement on the S&P, maybe some markets are approaching the average. Yeah, still far, 1.6, 1.2, 0.8. Yeah, nothing here. What about the currencies? The pound, still the same. Euro, yen, pound, Kiwi, Aussie, Swissy, Euro, Kiwi, British pound, Aussie, pound, Swiss franc. Yeah, all the same. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna recheck the pound, okay? Because since the pound, we use the 60 minutes and the 8 minutes, okay? Since we use the 60 minutes and the 8 minutes, the 8-minute time frame is such a low time frame that maybe some new UFO form, and if some new UFO form, maybe we have a trade. Okay, so we have two candles into the climate, 122.68. Yeah, let me see, nothing here. Yeah, nothing. Okay, so yeah, nothing new. So yeah, today is a day where we started the session and like in less than 5 minutes we got an order in the system. But then, and it was a nice trade. But then, everything kind of, all the parameters, kind of got us in a mode where we are just waiting. And obviously, even though this is not ideal, especially when we conduct the session, because, I love to use this 1 hour time to guide you and help you as much as I can. And of course, sitting on our hands right now, it's much less active, okay? Still, this is actually the most difficult skill to learn as a trader, which is when not to trade. Okay, and many people that I met in the past that are were either learning how to trade or were traders or whatever, they all said the same to me, and I know the same myself by my own experience, which is probably the most two difficult components of trading are managing your own emotions, and within that, just stopping trading when it's time to not to stop trading, when it's time to not to trade. Okay, so we are practicing that. Okay, even though it's not ideal from a get-together point of view, we want to be active, but this is real market situations, guys. Okay, so just waiting and looking at what may be forming. Looking at the ATR spread column. And yeah, and everything, the Kiwi US dollar in the 60-minute time frame may be worth it to check. It's 0.8 away, a sensible long with two candles in the process. So let's take a look at the Kiwi just in case, after the session is over, maybe you have an opportunity. So two candles into the process, average is 62.43. 62.43 falls into this UFO, so you would get in at 45. If you get in at 45, your stop would be below 32. 32 minus 5 is 28. Okay, so that could be a valid entry. Actually, it is a valid entry. Okay, so we may have a trade here with a Kiwi, even though we need to wait because we're not so close to the average. Okay, that's why we didn't have an alert on the red screen. So if 1 hour time frame is the time frame that you use for climate assessment purposes. We're gonna use 4 hours, okay, the next common time frame for target purposes with AutoUFOs. And here, I mean, that's a nice one to see, but again, it's always this situation, right? When you have a target so far away, it's kind of too good to be true, isn't it? And I mean, I'm not saying it could not happen, but those trades of the year, they happen once a year. So normally what happens in those trades where the target is so far out is that you end up trailing stop, trailing stop, trailing stop, just like the trade with the S&P today. And you end up having this nice profit, 13 points, okay, but we didn't get to 28.87 in one day, okay? So in this case, no problem, because Forex doesn't have any close. So even though that's an intraday trade, you could certainly convert an intraday trade into a swing trade. There is no margin implications or anything like that in Forex. So it's all good. But again, still from a realistic point of view, for a market to really have such a move, normally you will have impulse correction, that kind of price movement, and sometimes the corrections will be deep enough that they will surpass 8-minute UFOs. Okay, so again, when bottom line, when the target is far, 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 you are less likely to reach it. Okay, that's what it is. Okay, so 62.45, that's gonna be our entry. Okay, so I'm just gonna write the parameters for the trade. Okay, just write the parameters for the trade. So we're gonna have a final target for the Kiwi. Okay, and this one, again, remember, be patient. Okay, in 6 minutes the average will update. Okay, so should be about the same, but you may have an update on the average, and that may change the validity for the trade. So make sure you double check. So 63.68, that will be the final target. Safety target, okay, we need to define that later on. The long entry, that would be 0.6345. This is what we said. Sorry. Oh, something happened there that erased everything I wrote. So we'll do it again. So final target 0.6368. Safety target, we will calculate that later on. Long entry, I was saying 0.6245. We add 2, so that's gonna be, actually it's 46. We add 2, so it's gonna be 48. And then the stop loss, okay, it's gonna be below 0.6232, and we need to subtract 5. Okay, so that's gonna make it 27. Okay, so we are talking about 21 points, 21 pips of risk. Therefore, our safety target will be located at 62, and that would be 69. Okay, so that would be the trade plan, and I'll give you just a few seconds as well to make a note, so you have it. Got an alert, a golden alert on lean hogs. I remember the climate was not confirmed, so I would say probably not a valid one, but just a few more seconds from now, I just give you time to make a note. I'm gonna go ahead and take a look. Okay, so we'll go there. And also I can see your note with the pound Kiwi, Dirk. I'll take a look at that as well after I check the futures markets. Okay, so futures markets, what are you giving us? Okay, yes, lean hogs, we got an alert. Okay, but we got the non-confirmed climate, so no time to do anything yet, while all those markets, okay, are still showing us stretched, price action far away from an average price, and therefore from a probability point of view, it's time to wait. Okay, so the pound Swiss franc, in the 4-hour time frame, I believe we looked at this before, isn't it? But let's take a look again. Pound Swiss. Yeah. So confirmed climate, all of this is good. We have average 122.45. So 122, yeah, 122.45 is that UFO there. And yeah, and the problem was that then the stop will be located so far away. So I think I discarded this trade earlier because of that. Alfredo, would you trade the New Zealand dollar futures? I would not. I would not. Again, it's not wrong to do it, but it's a liquidity situation, guys. Okay, so again, take a look. So earlier you were asking about British pound. Okay, now you are asking about New Zealand, NZ. Okay. Interesting. How come it's not loading the symbol? You know what? Maybe I'm using the wrong symbol because I never trade that one. So maybe I'm not using the right symbol. Let me go ahead and so futures, New Zealand. Okay, oh, it's NE. So silly of me. Yeah, sorry guys. You know, this is a NE1. This is a market I don't trade often at all. I don't even remember the last time I traded it, you know, and it's probably years ago. So, and the reason why you're gonna see it is because of volume conditions. Okay, so yeah, okay, so I need to show you that in a different let me do this. I'll switch this to daily. Okay, I mean this table is designed for me to use it differently. Okay, but I just want to show you volume. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is add study. Yeah, Alfredo. Yeah, it's my bad. I mean it's NE1, right? NE1. So I'm just gonna go for volume. I'm gonna add volume average. Here we go, and I'm gonna move it down all the way. Okay, I wanna click OK. So here is volume average. Okay, and here's what I want you to notice. Okay, that when you look at the volume average, okay, of the British pound, that is 100,000 contracts per day. The New Zealand dollar is 22,000. You know, if you were to look at the S&P, okay, and let me make sure I got the S&P as a daily time frame. If you look at the S&P as a daily time frame, it's 1.6 million. Okay, if you look at the euro contract, and I want to make sure it's in a daily time frame, okay, that is 181,000, is double the liquidity of the pound. So the pound is certainly not wrong to trade, but the New Zealand dollar, to me, it's really concerning in that sense. Okay, so liquidity is very thin, you know, with 22,000 contracts per day as an average. Okay, only that. Okay, so again, the contracts I'm using, and certainly there are a few more markets that could be traded, but the contracts I'm using here in the table are the ones that produce the best liquidity. Okay, so we do have a confirmed climate now with the natural gas after we just had a new candle close on natural gas. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to look at the natural gas and then we will call it the day. Okay, so the S&P keeps falling, very good. So let's go ahead and open natural gas, see if we got a trade setup. I'll help you to plan it and then we will call it the day. So loading natural gas. Yeah, 15,000 volume on bar chart. That may be today. With TradeStation, I was showing you the average, and I believe that by default is the average of the last 50 days. Okay, maybe bar chart is doing the average of the last 10 days. I don't know. I'm not sure. But bottom line, it's quite low. Okay, so now, by the way, when dealing with energy markets, okay, this is what you always want to do. Okay, you check, you know, using bar chart. Okay, you check energies. Okay, energies, natural gas, and always never get overconfident. Okay, always check what is the current contract with the greatest liquidity, which is X. Okay, which is X. It is up here. Okay, so that's the one I have. I have the X. Okay, so I'm fine, but don't be overconfident about that. Okay, so what do we have here? Okay, we got 2288. Okay, well, my friends, we have a trade. 2288 is the average, okay? And the bottom part of this UFO is 2289. If price goes up by a little bit, okay, it's gonna be 89. So we're gonna have an overlapping situation with the UFO and the average, okay? So we just found a trade. So let's go ahead and plan it. I'm gonna look at the 240-minute time frame, next common time frame with the natural gas, looking for a target on where to close the trade. Okay, and that will be a short. So I'm looking for green UFOs. Wow, no green UFOs. Yeah, no green UFOs. Yeah. So again, is what it is. Okay, there are no green UFOs, and I got so much price action below price, isn't it? But then the app does not call any of these UFOs. Okay, some of you may be surprised. Okay, and sometimes we have received emails with app users that they will write to us and say, hey, is the app working well or not? I mean, remember, if I change the setting to false, okay, well, not even those, okay, is not identifying any green UFO at all. So you gotta trust what the app is telling you. It seems that there is no buy orders at all below price in this natural gas market. Okay, so we are set for a potential move to the downside, which is large. Again, I cannot just take the trade with no target or have a target which is so far out. Okay, I cannot, because we are planning on an intraday trade, isn't it? So then I'm gonna switch to the daily time frame to see if I can see some green, and in this case we are actually in the green. Let me zoom in to see how far inside we are. Yeah, so we're in the green, but we never reached the circle, which is 22.25. Yeah, but that's very, very close. It's really, really close. So yeah, this is a rare situation, my friends. Okay, these type of situations don't happen too often. And what I'm about to say is also something I don't say often, which is you guys have green light for you to take this trade with no target. Okay, so only trailing stop, like when a market is making all times high. Okay, because really it doesn't make sense to have a target that is going to be so far away if it doesn't even show on the chart, and we just need to load like 100 years of data to find a target. Okay, so we're just going to enter the trades, set a safety target, and just keep trailing stop, trailing stop, trailing stop. Okay, guys, so keep that in mind. Again, not a super normal setup. Exception is not to have a target. So entry, okay, that would be right here, 22.89. So I'm gonna find 89. I'm just gonna click. I got 2 contracts. That's my standard. I'm gonna bring to 94. Here we go. So then that means that from this I'm gonna move to 89, which is 84, which is 1-to-1, isn't it? And then what I'm gonna do with my final target, take a look, because I almost never do this. With the final target, I'm just gonna click, so the final target is gone. You've seen that? Okay, so basically I got entry with 2 contracts, stop with 2 contracts, safety target 1, and that would leave me with 1 contract for me to keep trailing stop, okay, all the way until wherever I go. Okay, that's it. So this is the trade, and yeah, this was today, my friends. We're done for today. As always, super pleasure to join you here. Super pleasure to work as a team. I love it when you guys come back to me with both questions, but also with confirmations of following the plan, executing those trades, and you know, I love it, because this is how you become a trader. Okay, and some of you are already, you know, super traders, but this is how you also keep yourself on your toes, and you know, always appreciate what the market gives us. So anyway, see you tomorrow. Tomorrow we'll be doing options. We'll be doing longer term. Until then, keep up the good work, and certainly for sure respect that discipline, my friends. Okay, take care, everybody. Bye bye.